Hey guys, I'm Ratna of Class 7. In this video, I'll solve the further part of Chapter 3 of Science Ratna Sagar textbook. If you have not watched the first video, I'll surely drop the link in the description. Please check it out. So let us start with the further part of this chapter. So let's start. It is telling about mixtures. When two or more elements or compounds are mixed together and there is no chemical change between them, we get a mixture of the element or compound. In a mixture, no new molecule is formed. So it is telling about a mixture. It is saying when two or more compound or element are mixed together and no chemical reaction takes place, means there is no new substance formed, then it is called a mixture. When two or more elements or compound are brought together and they do not always react chemically. Firstly, not all elements or compounds can react with each other. Secondly, if they even can react, they will not do so until conditions are favorable. For example, some compound may have to be heated together to make them react. Other may have to be dissolved in water before they can react. So it is saying it is not necessary whenever we mix two elements or compound they always react, because firstly not every element and compound when mixed together reacts, and secondly if they will react they need favorable conditions, like when we mix iron and sulfur together. If we do not heat them, we can separate the iron easily by a magnet, but if we heat them, it forms a substance known as iron oxide, and when we take a magnet near to it, the iron will not attract, as it formed a new substance which is known as iron sulfide. Let's read further. Difference between a compound and a mixture. So you must be thinking, what is the difference between a compound and a mixture? Because compound is also a mixture only of two elements but in a fixed ratio, and mixture is combining of two compounds or elements. So let's read what the difference between compound and a mixture. Most substances around us are mixture. Air is a mixture of several gases. Even tap water is a mixture. It contains several compounds dissolved in it. So it is telling about the examples of mixture. It is saying most of the things around us are mixture, like air and water. Air contains many dissolved gases in it, like oxygen, nitrogen, argon, helium, etc. And water also contains many compounds like salts. While a mixture can be made by mixing together two or more elements or compounds in any ratio, a compound is always made up of elements combined in a certain fixed ratio that always remain the same. So the main difference between the mixture and the compound is that mixture can be in any ratio. It is not necessary that it would be in ratio of 2:1 only. We can mix the mixture in any ratio. Like if we are making a lemonade, it is a mixture, so we can squeeze a lemon as much we want to suit our needs, but in water there will be only two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen only. So this is the main difference between the compound and a mixture. Let us do the following activity. So here is the activity 1, experimental investigation. So it is an experiment which proves a distance between the compound and a mixture. Put some powdered iron and some powdered sulfur in a china dish. Mix them thoroughly. Now bring a magnet near them. You will find that the powdered iron in the mixture will be attracted by a magnet. The magnet can be used to completely separate the iron and sulfur. So it is an activity which is showing that when we mix powdered iron and powdered sulfur and mix them thoroughly, mix them, and when we bring a bar magnet near to them, the iron will stick to the magnet, and it can be separated separated easily. It is clear from the above activity that iron and sulfur have not reacted chemically. What we had a mixture of iron and sulfur that could easily be separated by a physical method. You can mix any amount of sulfur with any amount of iron to form a mixture of two. So it is referencing the activity 1. It is saying it is clear from the above activity that when we mix iron and sulfur, they do not react until we heat them, and no chemicals, no new substance was formed. So the properties of iron was retained. So when we bring a magnet near to the sulfur and iron mixture, the iron gets sticks to the magnet. Now let's do the activity 2. Now mix 8 gram of sulfur and 14 gram of iron in a china dish and heat the mixture. After some time, the mixture will begin to glow and give off heat. A black substance called iron sulfide will form. The particles of iron and sulfur cannot be seen separately now. Nothing happens if a magnet is brought close to the substance. So this is what I am trying to explain. Now if you take 8 grams of sulfur and 14 grams of iron and heat them in a china dish, it will after some time begin to glow and give heat off, and a new substance will be formed known as iron sulfide. The particles of, now we cannot separate the iron from the sulfur because a new substance is formed in which the property of magnet is not, the property of attraction of magnet is not implemented, cause the iron loses its property to form the new substance. Let's read further. Now it is telling the difference between the compounds and the mixture. Combination of constituents are combined together chemically in compounds, and constituents are combined together not chemically but physically only. So it is a table which describes all the differences between a compound and a mixture. So let's read. It is saying combination of constituents. So in compounds, constituents are combined chemically. Means a new substance is formed after the bond of two or more elements. In mixture, constituents are combined but they are not combined physically. No new substance is formed and they can be easily separated. Not ratio of constituents. This is the second difference between the compound and the mixture. It is saying ratio of constituents. In the compound, same constituents are present in a fixed ratio. So if you take an compound in all over the world, you will find the ratio of all the, let's take example of water again, which is formed by oxygen and hydrogen, which are substance present in the air. They combine together to form water, which is a liquid substance, and oxygen and hydrogen, which support burning, combine together and form water which do not support burning. And in mixture, they retain the property of the constituents. Energy changes. Often energy absorbed or released during the formation of compounds. So, like if you take an example of iron and sulfur mix, but it is a mixture and no energy is, but when you heat, energy is absorbed and a chemical reaction takes place and a compound is formed. Let's read further. One molecule of iron sulfide contains 1 atom of iron and 1 atom of sulfur. If we use 20 gram of iron and 8 gram of powder sulfur and heat the mixture, the reaction will still take place, but the extra 6 gram of iron will be left over. Had there been extra sulfur in the mixture, that would be also left over. That shows iron sulfide. Iron and sulfur are present in a fixed ratio by weight. The ratio is always 14:8 or 7:4. If the mixture contains iron or sulfur more than its fixed ratio, the extra sulfur or iron will be left over. So it is saying, if we are taking an example of iron iron and sulfur. If we want to make the compound out of these, which is iron sulfide, then we have to take it in the fixed ratio, which is 14:8 or 7:4. So we have to minimum take iron 7 grams and 4 grams of sulfur. Then only we can form iron sulfide. Or if you take like 9 grams of iron and 4 grams of sulfur, then the remaining 2 grams of iron will be left over. So in this video, I'll explain till here only. In the next video, I will explain the further part of this chapter. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any queries related to this chapter, please drop it in the comment section below. I'll surely try to solve it in the next video. Till then, goodbye.